Would you ever buy a house to live in front of your crush?
It depends on the property value. Would you ever throw a party every weekend in the hopes that the one would show up?
I mean, I don't like parties personally, but if I got to see them, I would definitely go. But guess who did throw parties? Jay Gatsby.
Guess what? Gatsby did all this and more to show just how far he had come along in society, just so he could win Daisy's love, but he wasn't lonely in.
Who else could it have been?
Well, since you asked, in the book The Great Gatsby, we see one burning theme. With wealth and possession comes elevation of societal status. This theme is seen in both the Buchanan relationship and the Gatsby manor, as well as other aspects of the book.
So, if I don't have a large house and throw parties every weekend, I would have low social status in their world?
Basically.
Hey, we haven't even introduced the book yet.
Fine. The Great Gatsby
By F. Scott Fitzgerald.
is a time-honored classic.
Written in the 1920s.
It tells the story of a man so desperate for a chance that he recreates himself just to get one. This man, Jay Gatsby, eventually faces the consequences of careless actions made by his beloved.
So, all in all, The Great Gatsby, we're having a lot, and I mean a lot, gets you places, right?
What she meant to say is, like I stated earlier, with wealth and possession comes societal status. One example of this societal status innovation would be Jordan Baker. She was constantly at the Buchanan household, but why?
Well, Jordan Baker was like a leech to the Buchanans. She was constantly by their side and often just riding along with them, which made her seem as if she had just as much money as they did. But you know what they say, playing poker together is being rich together.
I'm not sure that they say that, but you make a great point. Jordan elevated her own societal status to the Buchanans. It was said that she wasn't able to endure being at a disadvantage.
Hanging out with wealthy, powerful individuals made her seem like she was at an advantage. But she had no actual feelings for the Buchanans, and she saw them simply as conduits for power.
With Baker's wealth, or rather wealth by comparison, her societal status was elevated.
Yep.
Another character we saw elevated by wealth and possession was Tom Buchanan. One example would be his possession of Daisy. He was quite protective of her and fearful of her loss, when he himself would have been an eligible bachelor should they split. Why was this?
Well, I think I can answer this question. Remember how Gatsby said her voice was full of money? So, if Daisy's voice sounds like it's full of money, then what is Daisy associated with?
Wealth, and if Daisy is associated with wealth, then she elevates Tom's societal status.
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo. Anyway, in addition to Tom's social status being elevated by what Daisy represented, Daisy's social status was elevated by who Tom was.
Well, one thing I saw in the book was that Daisy was reluctant to say that she never loved Tom. Why do you think that was?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Daisy was materialistic, of course. In the book, we see descriptions of Tom as this unstoppable force with vast amounts of money. Nick describes him as he is wealthy and he likes to flaunt it. His family are enormously wealthy, and even in college, his freedom with money was a matter for reproach. And two shining, arrogant eyes with established dominance over his face and gave him an appearance of always leaning aggressively forward. You get where I'm going here?
Yeah, kind of. So, what you're saying is Tom is wealthy and powerful, and that's why Daisy wanted him? So, that connects to our theme because Daisy only wants Tom for the money and the power he possesses.
And how'd you come to that conclusion?
Well, I mean, we can see that at some point, Daisy actually cared about Gatsby, but there was a major shift in their feelings when Tom came along. Tom had something Gatsby didn't, therefore she chose Tom.
Hey, I never thought about it that way, but you're actually right. You learn something new every day.
Exactly. So, who else do you think used possession to elevate their social status in society?
I mean, you could say everyone at Gatsby party was using him in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. They were using him to make themselves look better. I mean, if I went to parties and wore expensive dresses every weekend, wouldn't I look like super rich?
I'd say you look ridiculous, but sure, we can go with rich.
I mean, plus I'd be hanging around the richest bachelor in town, right next to his Olympic-sized pool.
Come on, there's no one else. We went through everyone.
Actually, there's one more person. The one, the only...
Jay Gatsby. Jay Gatsby was a prime example of elevating his societal status through the use of possessions or even possessive behavior.
There were plenty of examples of this throughout the book, like the big yellow Rolls Royce, a popping car, might I say?
Or even the huge incoherent failure of a house, as stated by Nick.
I mean, it was too perfect, you gotta admit it. It was practically out of the box and strategically placed right in front of the Buchanan house.
You see, even his house was a way to express the size of his wallet. That does not account for the mounds of extraordinary clothing he owns.
He sure was something, huh?
So you see, everyone is a good example of elevation of status.
From the people they hung out with to the size of their pools, everything was a representation of their major wealth.